What's up? My name's Nick with theached.body.com, and today we're going over the lower back and how to fix it, primarily the QL and the erector spinae. I'm going to take you through how to do trigger point therapy in that area, how to stretch it effectively, as well as how to use a Theracane in that area, even though I do have a separate video that goes over that. And as a side note, if you have lower back pain, this may help, but a lot of times lower back pain comes from another area, whether that's weak glutes or an issue with your hamstrings or even further up the chain. So I hope this helps, but if not, check out my other videos and articles on my website to see if there's anything else I could help you with that. I don't like long intros, so let's get to it. If you want access to me, check the link in the description. So as you may know, the QL is a triangular shape that goes from the spine all the way to the pelvis. And it's a source of tightness and irritation for a lot of people. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this lacrosse ball and I'm going to kind of just lay on it. Now, it's going to be hard to see, but if you can imagine, the QL is sitting right around here, or maybe a little bit lower. You're going to find the top of your hip bone and place this right above it. And all you're going to do is lay back on it. You can put your leg up like this. And right now, the ball is just laying underneath me. And I'm just going to breathe into it. And you'll notice that after about 30 seconds to a minute, you might feel like a little bit of a burning sensation in that area. As long as it's not exceeding a 6 or 7 out of 10, you're in great shape, and that's going to be good. But the goal is just to inhibit the muscle. And that's always the first part of any corrective exercise work that you do. You want to inhibit the muscle by applying pressure to it. That way, essentially, it will relax the muscle. That way, you can stretch it more effectively. Sometimes I'll angle my body slightly towards the ball. That way, the ball is kind of going at an angle into my back. And that kind of helps target the QL a little bit. Sometimes I'll shift down or up depending on where the pain is really felt or where the most tension is. And then again, I'm just going to relax into it, breathe. After about 30 or 60 seconds of that, I might switch sides or I'll get up and do the stretch. But we're going to talk about the stretch next. In order to target the erector spinae or spinae muscles, you're going to have to imagine that there's two railroad tracks that go along your spine, basically. And they're protecting your spine from either side and stabilizing it. But they get really tight because every time that you bend your back and straighten out, everything you do is using those muscles. So what I like to do is I like to start with the ball at basically the base of my back, above the sacrum and above the hips slightly. And then I'm going to slowly roll down the muscle while going side to side, as if you're trying to take that muscle and kind of play it like it's a guitar string. You're strumming it back and forth as you move up towards your mid back. Once I get to about the middle of my ribs, I change directions and go back because using a lacrosse ball towards your upper ribs and getting up there is a lot of pressure in that area. So I tend to stop around the halfway mark of my ribs. You'll notice areas that have a little bit more tension, and when you do, you can just pause on them and just breathe into it for 3 to 5 breaths and then continue on after that. After you go through both sides of your spine, you're going to have a good idea of what's painful and where the tension is in those muscles, which then you can go back to and do a more targeted trigger point, or you can grab a Theracane and do a more targeted trigger point there as well. I have a full video on how to use the Theracane in the lower back, so I'll link to that right here. But essentially, you're just going to take the rounded end and you're going to put it into your back in that spot, kind of at an angle, and you're going to apply pressure as much as you want. There is an active release technique that I go over in that video, so be sure to watch that. Next up from there is how to stretch the lower back as well. So there's two stretches that I really recommend for this because there aren't that many stretches that can really target the QL. This first one is just extending out to the side, thinking about going up more than just crunching out to the side. And then you're not going to have the QL stretch yet. You have to raise your hand, still thinking about extending up. And then from there, I'm just going to shift forward, rotating slightly to put the pressure through my back. And that looks like this from the side. So I'm extending up to the side. I would normally have this hand supporting on my hip, but then I will rotate and feel the stretch through my back. And funny enough, the second best stretch that I have for the low back is really just a one leg in, one leg out stretch, kind of basic. But the goal is to really feel the stretch through your back and not your legs at all. Usually people will use this as a hamstring stretch, but this is really good for your back. The more that you're able to reach and actually grab your foot and then use your foot as like a pedal to pull yourself forward, the better off you are going to be getting that stretch through your back. You might actually feel it through your lats a little bit, but this will definitely get the QL like we're talking about. So that's basically it for the QL and the erector spinae, which is going to make up your lower back. That's how to trigger point it. That's how to stretch it properly. One extra stretch that you might want to try is doing a plow stretch where you lay on your back and you roll back to have your feet try to touch the floor on the other side above your head. That's always good for your low back as well. And some people really like doing some traction, which is release from hanging on a pull-up bar or something and letting your entire body extend out. That can also give you some relief as well. But the big thing is trying to get rid of the trigger points by doing the trigger point therapy that we talked about at the beginning and using the stretches to actually release the tension throughout the muscles. I hope that was helpful. Again, if you want access to me, check the link in the description, and I'll see you in the next video.